plan.
To the regularly scheduled public meeting of October 6, 2025 of the Township of Washington Township Council. Adequate notice of this meeting was given in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act by the Township Clerk to at least 2 newspapers on March 18, 2025, and this meeting has been posted on the Township Bulletin Board, electronic message board, WCTV, and on the Township website. Please notify the municipal clerk for any disability requirements necessary for attendance at council meetings. Fire exits are located through the double doors to your right and through the door on your left. Please silence all cell phones. If you are unable to attend the council meeting in person and would like a topic to be addressed at a council meeting, please visit www.council.org twpofwashington.us. Contact Us tab, click on Mayor and Council, send email to contact all council members at once. Could everyone please stand for a salute to the flag? I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Councilman Casio,
Here.
Councilman Sears,
Here.
Councilman Ullman,
Here.
Councilwoman Velez,
Here.
Council President DeSena.
Here. Let the record reflect also in attendance Mayor Peter Calamari, Township Administrator Mark DiCarlo, Township Attorney Siobhan Bailey, and Township Clerk Susan Witkowski. Payment of bills, Resolution Number 25-319. Authorized payment of bills September 18th through October 2nd, 2025. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Councilman Casio,
Yes.
Councilman Sears,
Yes.
Councilman Ullman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez,
Yes.
Council President DeSena.
Yes. PSA for October 6, 2025. The 2025 general election on November 4th will be held at Bethany Community Center. This location will also be used for next year's primary and general election. With construction about to begin at the DPW facility, Town Hall parking will be limited. Official notices will be sent to township residents. Our ballot drop box has been relocated in the municipal parking lot and now sits across the police department entrance. Please note the signage as you pull into the parking lot. Voter registration deadline is Tuesday, October 14th. The clerk's office will be open from 8:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. for new voter registration and/or change of address. The Township of Washington Board of Health and Northwest Bergen Regional Health Commission will be sponsoring our 2025 flu clinic on Wednesday, October 8th at the Township Senior Center. Registration is required. Please visit our website for further details. Township of Washington Police have observed an increase in illegal electric and gas-powered dirt bikes around the township and have issued a zero tolerance if someone is caught riding one of these vehicles. Not only will the operator receive a traffic summons, but depending on the circumstances, the bike may be impounded. A dedicated e-recycling container is now available year-round at Town Hall through a partnership with E-Revival LLC, a certified electronics company. Drop-off is available Tuesdays from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. and Saturdays 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. by ecology permit only. Please note the yard is closed on Tuesdays during bulk and leaf collection weeks. Please visit our website for a full listing of acceptable items. Friendly reminder, please curb your dogs and pick up their waste when necessary. Please do not throw your pet's bagged waste into your neighbor's garbage cans, bodies of water, or into wooded areas. The Kiwanis Club of Pascack Valley meet on the second Wednesday of each month at 6:30 p.m. at the Westwood Community Center. If anyone would like more information, please contact Paul Ralph Cardulli at 516-581-8319 or pascackvalleykiwanis@gmail.com. The Washington's Wicked 5K and Kids Run is taking place on Sunday, October 26th at 9 a.m. Please visit the township website to register. Our next council meeting will be held on Monday, October 20th, 2025 at 7 p.m. Thank you, everyone. Report of the administrator.
Thank you, Council President. Good evening, everyone. This is my response to council or resident concerns from the Township Council meeting from September 22nd. There was no resident concerns brought up by the residents at the last council meeting. There was one brought up by the council. Council requested I notify our insurance company regarding the Memorial Field lights and the possibility that they are not electrically grounded. The insurance company agreed with our plan to notify our coaches and program directors that the use of the field and to install signs on each of the 10 poles. The insurance company did not have any additional guidance or mandates. Couple of updates. The township has completed our most recent Gov Deals auction, which brought in $12,962. This money will be deposited into the municipal revenue not anticipated fund. The township has received the Bergen County Open Space Grant reimbursement of $472,500. And lastly, our stop sign project, we have received some concerns from the public. I can assure you that we're addressing all of them, and once the project's completed by DPW supervision and the police traffic safety unit will go out and check everything for the requirements and satisfactory compliance with that. And thank you, Council President.
Thank you. Report of the mayor.
Thank you, Mike. Evening, everyone. Nice to see you all in attendance.
Unfortunately, I'm going to start on a somber note by recognizing the passing of longtime resident and attendee of many council meetings, Julianne Lipnick. It was nice to see so many people from town attend her wake. Please keep her husband Reed and their children in your thoughts and prayers. We had two really great events in town this past weekend. The weather couldn't have been better for both of them. Town Day was amazing. We had many activities for the children and lots of good food options for everyone. I was happy to interact with many of our residents. It's estimated we had close to 3,000 people in attendance. I want to thank Director of Public Affairs Sasha Lopez and the entire team who make our largest annual event the success it always is. And it wouldn't take place without the many people and organizations who sponsor the event. The second one was the OLGC picnic held at the Knights of Columbus. I saw many people who attended Town Day at this event also. It's always good to see council members in attendance supporting these and many other events. There was a need for medical attention, and I want to thank the members of our police department who were the first on the scene, followed by paramedics from Valley Hospital, and then the Westwood Ambulance Corps. With all the treatment that was given on the scene, I am happy to report that the person did not need transport to the hospital. I'm excited to share some good news that started as an idea I brought to the table a while back when seeing the timing of the DPW facility. After months of planning, I officially signed an agreement with the Bethany Community Center to move our polling location there for this year's election on November 4th. We'll also use it for next year's primary and general elections, and if it works out well, it may even become our long-term location. With construction about to begin on the new DPW facility, parking at Town Hall will be limited. Bethany is a great alternative. It has plenty of parking, and its location on Pascack Road will make getting in and out much easier than the usual Hudson Avenue spot, which always gets congested on Election Day. Thank you to our clerk and Chief Administrative Election Officer Sue Witkowski, the staff at the Bergen County Board of Elections, and the people at Bethany Community Center for working with me to make this happy. As was said in the PSA, official notices will be sent to all township affected households soon, so please keep an eye out for them. Speaking about elections, it was a pleasure to attend a training session held at the high school for students who will be poll workers in elections as part of their studies. Our future is brighter when our youth understand the value of voting and serving their community. I met with the Director of Shared Services for Bergen County regarding the county-owned internet service for use by municipalities. At the end of the meeting, the director told me that he checked before attending the meeting, and he found that we are taking advantage of almost every shared service the county offers. That disputes information that one of the candidates for mayor put out. It was stated, "This sounds like another great partnership with the county that the township is missing out on." Unfortunately, I need to call out misinformation where it exists regarding my record. We are applying for the Recreational Opportunities for Individuals with Disabilities grant again after Laura Rifkin ran a successful program last year. The resolution is on the agenda tonight for the council's consideration. Although a month has passed, this is the first time I am able to comment during a council meeting on the senseless killing of Charlie Kirk. My deepest condolences go out to his family, friends, and all who are grieving his tragic loss. Regardless of political views, violence must never be the response to disagreement. The foundation of any democratic society rests on the principle that individuals can express differing perspectives freely without fear of retribution or violence, especially on our college campuses. When that freedom is attacked, it threatens the very fabric of civil discourse. Now more than ever, we must stand together, rejecting violence, embracing respect, and committing to dialogue over division. Every voice deserves protection, and every life must be valued. We conducted our annual 9/11 ceremony. It's nice to still see so many people come out to remember the sacrifices that so many and their families made that horrific day. The state health benefits program has seen significant increases in premiums over the last 3 years. In response to the increase in premiums, the administration, in conjunction with our employees, began utilizing the difference card on July 4th of last year. The switch to the difference card saved both taxpayers and employees significant money. Unfortunately, starting January 1st, 2026, the state health benefits program will see an up to 55% increase in premiums. This increase will have effects on the budget and the contributions of our employees. During the last several weeks, we have been working with our insurance broker, Trinity Insurance Company, and the Difference Card to present an alternative to the employees that will prevent an approximately $500,000 increase to the taxpayers and save the individual employees on their contribution amounts. Beginning this week, we will be meeting with employees to discuss the alternative option. Excuse me, just one sec. There's been some confusion and even some misinformation about the ordinance regarding commercial vehicles, boats, and similar items. I'm sure that's why many of you are here this evening, so I'd like to clear some things up. The planning board is responsible for keeping the town's master plan current. They work with the town planner, who brings them ideas and examples from other towns. If any of those ideas involve local ordinances, they're sent to the town council, which can decide to approve them, change them, or take no action at all. To be clear, the planning board does not make or change ordinances. They review and recommend. It is then the council that will ultimately decide. That is a reason the council appoints one of their members to a seat on the planning board. That person is a liaison between the council and the planning board for instances just like this. Everyone involved is simply doing their part in the process. I hope this clears up any confusion, and as always, I encourage our residents to have their voices heard by attending council meetings. As witnessed by your attendance this evening, I'm sure the council will listen to your voices and decide whether to move forward with the potential ordinance change or leave it as it is. For those of you who get your news from the Pascack Press, I feel the need to correct statements made not by them, but by a former councilwoman. She told the Pascack Press, I believe it being the potential Bethany lease, disrupts another pocket of our township rather than keeping everything in one central location where it belongs. Long-term, the township should pursue a permanent centralized solution for DPW operations that consolidates storage, equipment, and vehicles in one appropriate location rather than scattering them throughout the town. Throughout the neighborhoods. That ends the quote. During her tenure on the council, she had the opportunity to suggest locations for the DPW that could support operations and the storage of equipment. None were available then or now. She also signed off on a plan that is quite similar to the one being executed now, that being a new facility at Town Hall where the old building was located. If she or anyone else had new thoughts about it since then, they were free to attend council meetings to suggest alternatives. To now suggest other locations that may now be available without listing specifics is a disingenuous attempt to mislead voters. It is also an insult to our fine DPW employees who have been operating from tents in the freezing cold and the scorching heat for far too long. Now allow me to state the facts. After exhausting every opportunity, the council and administration awarded the bid for the new facility at its old location. Therefore, for anyone to suggest we will be operating the DPW permanently at any other location is purposely putting out misinformation. The council has a lease agreement in front of it this evening for a parking lot to temporarily support operations during the construction of a new facility. I cannot go into detail about it since the agreement is in the final stage of negotiations. But what I can tell you is the proposed lease agreement has a term that coincides with the amount of time the construction will take on the new DPW facility. The location will not, I repeat, will not be the permanent location for DPW operations. The public will not access the leased location for any reason. The weekly drop-off debris service we currently offer the residents will continue to take place in the Town Hall parking lot. Recreation news. The Introduction to Cheer program is close to the end of its season. All the participants are having a great time. It was a pleasure to see them participate in Town Day. The Fun Fall with Art program started on September 25th. The children are having fun creating their masterpieces. The 2025-2026 basketball program registration opened on October 2nd. Please visit the recreation page on the township's website for program information. If you are interested in volunteering to coach, please contact the Superintendent of Recreation, Dan Scudieri, via email. A background check for all volunteers 18 years of age and older is required. As a reminder, Teen Night at the Westwood Recreation Center is now open. The Teen Center is available to all Westwood and Township of Washington residents in grades 6 to 8 on Friday nights from 7:30 to 10 p.m. at the Westwood Community Center at no cost. Basketball, volleyball, ping pong, billiards, air hockey, and Xbox on a big screen are just some of the available activities. Parents must fill out a registration form at the Teen Center on any Friday night or during business hours at the Westwood Community Center. Refreshments are available throughout the evening for a nominal fee. Please visit the recreation page on the town website and Facebook pages for more information about these programs and registrations. Police Department news. The department took possession of their new Chevy Tahoe. They also conducted interviews for a new crossing guard. Lastly, both Chief Calamari and Sergeant Rio Fasciano submitted letters to announce their retirements. The process to select a new chief is already underway. Fire Department news. September was a busy month. The department responded to multiple calls in town as well as mutual aid in Emerson and Hillsdale. Besides the normal odors of natural gas, CO, and fire alarms, the department responded to the Parkway for an accident, a house with a burning odor, and a vehicle leaking fuel. They were also on an automatic dispatch for Emerson, sending a ladder truck during the Wildwood Convention Week, and were also called to Hillsdale as well. Some of the members attended swift water rescue training. This past month, some of the officers and members attended the Wildwood Convention. They were able to see the new chief's vehicle that was on display there and looked at new equipment for future considerations. They have since taken delivery of their vehicle, and it was on display at Town Day. The department held its 29th annual car show with great participation and another great weather day. They thank all who attended. The support is always appreciated. They also held a Texas Hold'em fundraiser and thank everyone that showed up to support them. The department attended Town Day and repeated their win in the annual tug of war contest. They will be holding an open house on the 13th of this month. On the 25th, the department will hold its annual Ragamuffin event. DPW news. The final pickup of household debris for 2025 is taking place this week. Also, October is the final month of metal pickups for this year. Football and fall baseball fields have been lined as needed. Work continues attempting to repair the well at Memorial Field. Curb lines along Hemlock Drive were painted yellow and no parking signs were installed where needed. They assisted with the annual fire department car show. 2 new employees were hired and their training continued. The department also took delivery of their new F-350 pickup truck, and 3 inches of new mulch were installed at Memorial Field Playground to satisfy safety issues. Public affairs. During the month of October, the department is focusing on community engagement through several seasonal events celebrating Halloween. Preparations are underway for the annual Halloween house decorating contest and pet costume contest. Both initiatives encourage community participation and creativity while fostering neighborhood pride. Winners for each contest will be announced on Halloween night. Additionally, the department is supporting the coordination of the Halloween 5K run scheduled for Saturday, October 26th. This event continues to promote health, wellness, and community spirit among residents. And I think I may have that date wrong for the 5Ks. Daisy, is that correct?
October 26th.
Saturday or Sunday?
Sunday,
Yeah,
October
okay.
26th.
Sorry, I have Saturday here.
October 26th.
Yes. Almost done. Zoning office. There were a total of 58 zoning applications reviewed for the month of September. Library. September was a wonderful return to their usual school year programs with new twists. New programs on birding for children are being sponsored by Flight Path via a grant. The Bergen County Zoo did a wild and crafty program for families. A sound bath program helped residents relax and unwind, and teens sugared up with a cotton candy program. They are pumped for pumpkins in October with a slew of fun Halloween-themed programs and events, so check out their website for all the details. Municipal Alliance. They worked out 3 new programs for the school system, a vaping program for students, a program on safe social media, an anti-bullying program for students with a special evening session for parents, and a program on peer pressure and anti-drinking and drugs. Community information documents on the annual National Night Out program, and children's fire safety materials were purchased. All these events will take place during October and November. Lastly, municipal court, 134 total traffic tickets were issued in August, with 109 from the Township of Washington Police Department and 25 from the state police. The court collected $6,442.98 in revenue to the township. That completes my report. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you. Report of the council, Ms. Velez.
Yes, thank you. So similar to the mayor, on September 11th, I also attended the ceremony. In my previous report, I believe for September, I had said how attendance had gone down a little bit. So it was nice to see a better turnout this year. So thank you to all who attended. On September 21st, I attended the fire department's car show. So it was nice to see that they had better weather than the original date. Beautiful cars. It's always nice to walk around and see so much pride put into the vehicles, and speaking with some of the residents as well as some of the people in attendance. So thank you to the fire department for hosting that every year. Town Day, like the mayor said, was a great success. We had a great turnout considering how hot of a day it was. Thank you to Public Affairs Director Sasha Lopez and all the volunteers for the time they put into making events like this possible for our residents. And one of my favorite new events for Town Day has become the Police Department versus Fire Department tug of war. So if you didn't hear, the fire department took home the big trophy. They won for a second year in a row, all fair and square. So congratulations to the fire department. It's great to see all the kids rush to the lines once the DJ announced the tug of war and seeing them win. And then, we always have some losers, but that's okay. They had a great time. So thanks to the police department and the fire department for going along with this great idea. And then on Sunday, October 26th, we will be having our Halloween 5K and Kids Fun Run. The 5K starts at 9 a.m. and the kids take off at 10:15. Last year it was very cute to see all the children running in their Halloween costumes, and also the adults. They had a great time, trekking the streets and the little hills of Washington Township to enjoy this beautiful event. I'm happy to report that from Saturday to today, we had an extra 40 people register for the event. So let's keep the momentum going. Check out the Facebook pages as well as the website for registration and more information. I also want to thank the VFW for their sponsorship of the event. And don't forget that family-friendly costumes are highly encouraged, and we also encourage anybody on the route to make sure their homes are decorated so our participants can get to have a spooky good time. So thank you, and that's it.
Thank you, Ms. Velez. Mr. Sears?
Thank you, Council President. The mayor and Ms. Velez covered lots.
Yes.
So I just have 3 items I'm going to cover tonight. The first one is VFW Post 6192 will sponsor any child of a deployed military family. And we're going to add to that, if the shutdown continues, we will also pay for any child to be part of the Halloween run. So we will cover the cost for any children, any military within the Washington Township, if they're deployed or not deployed, and if the shutdown continues, VFW will cover the cost for the children to be part of the Halloween Day parade. So
Thank you to the
I'd like to
VFW.
put that out there. Thank you. I'm also proud to announce that Washington Township has received 2 state awards through the Easy Ride and Fair Share, Sustainable New Jersey. The first award is a gold certificate. This will be the 6th year in a row we have received this award. It's a gold level recognition for New Jersey's safe street routes to the schools, and for safe streets within Washington Township. So it goes from 2025 to 2027 because we have put so much into play that this gold award will stay until 2027. So here is the certificate.
Good job.
It's a combination of police department, DPW, the council putting their efforts in, and the green team. So great award, Mr. Mayor. I'll bring this down to you. The second award is the continuation of our support of charging stations. We have received the Silver Award again this year for our planning to place charging stations within Washington Township. We haven't reached the goal yet because we had to stop until the building of the DPW. But we do have that Silver Award, and the Silver Award puts us in place to grant money, to get grants. So again, thank the council and everybody for putting the efforts into this. The last thing that I want to recognize, we have a group in the town called Tan2. What they do is a private organization that monitors the flights over Washington Township. Right now, there's a screen projecting the flights. We have actually had 347 flights over Washington Township in the last week. And if you live anywhere in the township, you hear them constant. And it's getting to a point where something has to be done. I know the group that is ran by Mary Ellen Stickle. We tried to get FAA to get on the board to hear our opinion. They denied us. So the green team on their webpage is going to put a sign-up page. If you want to voice your opinion, to send it down to the FAA, please sign that petition, and we'll get it over to Mary Ellen Stickle. They meet, I believe, once a month or quarterly. It's unbelievable. If you ever sit on your deck on a Sunday, it's constant. That's all I have to report. Thank you, Council
Thank you, Mr.
President.
Sears. Mr. Cassio?
As Mr. Sears says, everything is pretty much said by the time it gets to me. But I do want to say to Mr. Sears, he is too humble because I know the work he puts into getting these awards. So I want to thank you, Tom, for all the work that you do.
Thank you.
And you can toot your horn once in a while. It's okay. Right? That's my report.
Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you,
Allman.
Chief.
No problem.
No report. Thank you.
No report. Thank you. Everything was pretty much said. My condolences again for the Lipnick family. She was a voice of reason. She would come to the council meetings. She would always have something nice to say. Even if she said it in her own way, she was always here. She supported us, and we'll miss her dearly. Today is Little League National Coaches Day for all the coaches in all sports, not just Little League. Thank you for volunteering and do what you do for our children and our youth. The WTFD car show was a phenomenal day. We had great weather. I'm a little biased because we won an award that day for my wife's car, so it was good. Town Day was a success. Unfortunately, I was on a different field coaching our 12-year-olds in Mawa all day, so I wasn't able to attend. I'm glad to hear, we did receive an anonymous letter regarding the stop signs. I will not read it because it's anonymous, but I'm glad to hear, Mr. DiCarlo, that you're going to take care of all the issues addressed in this anonymous letter to the council and the mayor. And my last thing is we received a email from a resident. I will leave her name and family name nameless. They're a resident of the township. They had 2 high priority medical emergencies, and they waited almost 25 and 28 minutes. We just received this today, so I would like to ask the mayor if we could sit down with the ambulance corps and discuss this and see if there's any other ways we could help to stop this from occurring again. She makes it clear the police department showed up and did a wonderful job, but however, we had to wait for a rig to come from TNAC from Holy Name Hospital, which took 28 minutes while her 3-year-old was unresponsive. So I'd like to just maybe have a meeting with you and get to the bottom of this. Thank you. I'm not saying anybody did anything wrong, but we want to stop this from ever happening again. So.
We can make it better.
Yes, absolutely. If there's anything we could do as a council and an administration to make it better, we will help them out any way we can, like we tried months ago. That's all I have for tonight for my report. Approval Approval of minutes. We have approval of the budget meeting, April 15, 2024. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Calcium.
Yes.
Councilman Sears.
Yes.
Councilman Ullman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez.
Yes.
Council President DeSenza.
Yes. General public comment period, limited to 5 minutes each. Motion to open the public comment period.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Would anyone like to come up at this time and address the council? You had your hand up first, so you go first.
I'm here about the proposed limitation on
Name.
commercial names out commercial vehicles. I'm a hardworking individual. This is how I make my livelihood. If I wanted to live in a place that had a homeowners association, I would live there. I take objection that people could tell me what vehicle I could drive, what my recreation could be, what my boat is, what activity my kids could have, and how I keep my property. If that's the case, then I got plenty of people whose lawns are unkept, whose house needs to be painted. If we want to go down that road, we should encompass everything. I find it objectionable that people should worry about their own property, their own livelihood, and their own activities, and not infringe on the other rights of everybody else. And if someone's going to attack my livelihood, I take offense to that. And I'll do everything I can for every one of you. If someone's going to attack my livelihood, to affect everybody else's livelihood too. There's plenty of hardworking individuals. I was here before someone proposed that. And to affect how I feed my family, I take personal offense to that. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Would anybody else like to come up at this time?
Lynn Pistono, 631 Washington Avenue. I'm responding to an article I read in the Pascack Press online. I'm not sure if it was last week or the week before, but it was about Councilman Sears addressing the traffic situation at the Emergency Services Building. I'm sorry to inform you, but the volunteers aren't the only ones whose lives are in danger. It's also the residents who live in proximity of the building as well as up and down the street. Every day we have to put up with these crazy drivers who are speeding. Don't dare to back out of the driveway too far or you'll get hit, which has already happened. Since the intersection was changed, people are flying through. We don't see any patrol cars pulling any of these people over. Why not? Where are the police? I don't think blinking lights are going to matter much because drivers know nothing is going to happen. They will speed up just to avoid them. Perhaps more of a police presence handing out tickets will make the difference. The police need to do the job they were hired to do and what we pay our taxes for. When there's a fire, the cars won't even pull over for the volunteers trying to get to the firehouse. Perhaps if people know they will be ticketed for unsafe driving, they will be more cautious when driving through this town. We've had several instances of cars trying to pass only to end up on our lawn. What's going to happen when there's a person in the way and gets hit? Is that what it's going to take to get some action? Sadly, it's not only Washington Avenue, but maybe this should be the start of making our streets safer. And then after hearing all the tickets being issued in town by both the RPD and by the state, I don't see that many cars being pulled over on Washington Avenue like we used to. So I think something needs to be looked into. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Pistone. Would anybody else like to come up this time? Good evening, Chris.
Christopher Meyer, 323 South Chestnut Street. I'd like to address you according to ordinance number 25-02. This thing is absolutely ridiculous. Lived in this town for 51 years. I've been a homeowner for 29. My neighborhood, I walked around my neighborhood yesterday and I drove around the rest of the town today. My neighborhood alone, there's 3 electricians, there's a utility worker, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people with boats that have them on the side yard. I don't understand what the problem is. If someone works and they have a plumbing business or they're an electrician, they're earning their money to pay the taxes that keeps everything in this town running. Why can't they have their van in their driveway? The screening on the side with the driveway, it's telling you you can't have it. Because you know you can't. How many houses have the proper driveway and you put up a fence and stuff? It's ridiculous. You know how much a 6-foot arborvitae goes for? You're gonna need 30 of them. And then the screening doesn't even tell you. The front screening, side screening, it's crazy. I mean, all the people, this is a lake community. It's a blue collar town. I don't understand where we're going with this or where this comes from. I heard rumblings that it was something from the state, which I really have a hard time believing. I believe someone complained and they're hiding it. Enough's enough. Everyone in this town has their property. They take care of their property for the most part. Having this ordinance, this shouldn't be tabled. This needs to be voted down and be done with, because this has been brought up in January and it's been kicked around. And now that we have the paper and the definitions, it's absolutely ridiculous. Thank you.
Thank you. You had your hand. Good evening.
Good evening. My name's David Pernesti. I live at 312 Ridgewood Boulevard, and I'm here for the same thing over the commercial vehicle ordinance. I appreciate all the work that you people do and don't take it for granted, but I would hope that you guys, when you make a decision, will do the same. I work 24/7 for a utility company. We keep the lights on, we keep the internet going, all that stuff. And as part of that, I need my commercial vehicle at home at all times. I don't have the option. And for me to try to put up a fence in the backyard and hide my vehicle, I don't have the money to do that. But what I do have is the money to pay the tax increases that come because I'm able to work the shifts that I do. So I just appreciate that when you make your decisions, please take that into account for all of us. There's a lot of blue collar people here, just like me, that just work hard. We just want to pay our taxes, be left alone, and continue to be able to do our jobs. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pernesti. Would anybody else like to come up this time? Good evening.
Anthony Passanante, 136 Sussex. Hi, Tom.
Hey, Auntie.
Hi, Pete. Hi, Mark. So I'm here more about the boat storage that came up in this ordinance, how I think it said anything over 24 feet, you're not allowing storage at all. But anything under 24 feet, like Chris just said, it has to be stored on the side of a house with shrubbery or a fence completely surrounding the boat. I'm currently the president of the Lake Association. I've been for 10 to 12 years. You know, we're a small community, lake community. I would say we're one of a kind here in Bergen County. You know, we do have boats. We have 267 household members on the lake. And we store our boats on the side of the house. I mean, that's what the lake community does. I mean, I grew up on Lake Apacon. I know a lot of people that live on lakes. That's what we do. You have a boat and you keep it on the side of the house. So when I read that ordinance, saying, what is going on here? They want to store on the side of the house, which is what we do. And now you got to fence it in and put bushes around it. So how are you actually going to get the boat through the bushes into the parking spot? So like Chris said, it's making it impossible, which really doesn't make sense to me when we live on a lake, you know? So I hope everybody here just kind of keeps that in mind. You know, we're a very close-knit community with a lake. I think it's very unique. So to take that away from these people, just going to wreak havoc. So I hope you just consider just to table it or just get rid of this bill. And I have a question for you, Mark. Something that we talked about. Has anything come up on the board that you're going to be fixing the erosion of the stream?
Currently, the plan to restore the bank on the Musquapsink
Yes.
exists behind the vacant bank up on Pascack
I think there's a
Road.
couple spots that when I was here.
Right, so in order to find they're going to solve the erosion by taking away the shoals that are down behind the high school.
Okay.
So they're going to be clearing out the stream down there, and they're going to be using it to help support the state restabilization of the bank around the two exposed sanitary manholes behind the vacant bank.
Okay.
And the senior living. So we're still waiting for DEP to approve that permit. It's a very lengthy process, I'm unfortunately learning, and that's where the holdup is right now.
Still waiting for DEP, huh?
Still waiting for DEP.
Wow. And how long has it been since our last meeting on this? 2
It was
years?
initially sent to DEP a year ago.
A year ago?
A year ago, it was sent for the permit application, was sent in, and then they sent it back because they said they identified deficiencies, which Boswell Engineering said they commonly do. So it took several months to revise the plans and send it back in. We then asked for an extension period because they have 90 days to review it. The extension period actually ended the end of September. And coincidentally enough, there was an email today from DEP to Boswell and myself where they're identifying more information that they want. So it doesn't seem like it's a big deal, but then that leads to them telling us when we can actually go in the river and do the work, going out to bid, awarding the bid to a construction company. So unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to tell you when that's to take place, but it's a very lengthy, difficult process, cumbersome process to go in that river. I'm sorry if I said lake, to go into the river, to do any type of work with machinery. You know, manpower, that's fine, but once you introduce a machinery into the river, it creates a whole new roadblock of red tape, understandably so, but that's when DEP gets involved.
We, just so you know, we appropriated the money for that project in the 2024 budget.
Okay.
No, 2020, yeah, 2024, yeah, the 2024 budget, correct. So we've had the money for almost 2 years now sitting ready to do this work. And I know it's an environmental, and I keep bringing it up, and Mark keeps giving us updates. So he has updated us for the last 2 years on what's going on. I find it hard to believe that we have this environmental issue going on and the DEP won't let us do an emergency repair on it because it's such a, it's a ticking time bomb. And
Yeah,
I've
exactly.
said that since the night we approved the money, and I still say that. So, you know, I'm hoping smarter brain, you know, somebody will prevail and get this permit approved so we can get this put, you know, behind us because it's ready, you know, it's got to be repaired.
And I know we spoke about this. I just want to get on a record that whoever you do decide to hire, I know we talked about just contacting me so we could just kind of meet with the contractor to see what provisions they're going to put in to when they're working on the stream, that sediment or debris doesn't flow into the lake, if that's okay with you guys.
No, not at all. No, I covered it.
And just so the public knows that those critical sanitary issues are physically inspected by our DPW every week, and we keep documented proof that it's doing so to make sure continued erosion is not occurring. At one point, we found that, you know, you're going to love to hear this, but a rather large tree that had floated down and, you know, brushed up against it, and we had it removed by a tree company. So we're staying on top of it. And just for your clarification, in case you didn't know, even though the bond appropriation ordinance was approved, we didn't actually get the money in hand until this last July. So luckily, we've only been sitting on the cash, and we do have our second application in for a Gottheimer grant to hopefully reimburse us. So we were approved for it last year for 25.
Okay.
It's like a year behind. And unfortunately, the funding, when it came to congressional approval, was nixed, you know, for whatever reason, nothing to do with the township at all. But we tried again and we submitted it again. So we're hopefully it's going to be approved and the township will eventually be reimbursed for at least a good portion of that money.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks again for your hard work.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks,
Mr.
Ed.
Garland, just one follow-up, Mr. Garland. The DEP, they're aware of the emergent nature,
Yes.
and even with that, there's no strings to pull, levers to push.
We're trying everything we can. You know, Boswell Engineering has established, you know, very good professional relationships that have gone back years and years and years. And, you know, we're calling all those in, but unfortunately, it's just a process.
Would anybody else like to come up this time? She had her hand up first. You go next. Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Mary Roth. I live at 119 Woodfield Road. And I would like to just support what Tony and the other gentlemen have said about this new ordinance. I don't think that it's a useful ordinance for our community. I do live on the lake. We've had a boat on the lake for 25 years. We've had it on the side of our house for 25 years. I take great pride in maintaining my property to make sure that it looks great and presentable. I don't think this is where we should be spending our time. I don't think this is, excuse me, where we should be spending our police force's time. I believe in the ordinance, it said that they would be also identifying infringements regarding this ordinance. I don't think that's where we should spend our time. You mentioned the award we received, the Gold Award for safety in our town. I don't know if anyone here has ever sat on Woodfield Road during lunchtime, during school year, and during rush hour, during this, all year round, and the speed of the traffic that goes down that road. So I don't know what the criteria is for the safety award. The lady spoke about Washington Avenue. I think we have bigger fish to fry than imposing unrealistic requirements on homeowners and business people that just want to make a livelihood and keep things in their driveway. So I also would wish that you would not vote that into fruition. On a positive note, I would love to thank the Green Team for the work that they do for bringing the CSA to the library. Prior to that, we had it delivered to our home, and it's a great opportunity for us to, spend some time at the library, but also to take advantage of that opportunity. And I thank you for the grocery bags, produce bags. That was a nice touch as a several-year CSA participant. Thank you.
Thank you. This gentleman had his hand, then you can go next, please.
How you doing? My name is Garrett Posalakis, live at 245 Walnut Street. I'm talking about the same ordinance, 25-02. My dream and my wife's dream is to see all 50 states, and we want to do that by driving there, not flying over, driving there. Travel trailer is not just a trailer, it represents our dream. My question for you is, how many of you own a boat? Okay. The 24-foot number for a boat, how did we arrive at that number?
How did I arrive at that number?
It's in the ordinance, I'm just a...
Okay, well, can I answer that, Mike? I arrived because I thought the boat was too small for that. I'm in favor of the boat owner myself because, you should be able to have a boat in your yard as long as you want. Here's the thing with this ordinance. We asked when it first came out, were there any complaints, whether it be boats, trailers, work vehicles? And you know what the answer was? None. Little or none. This was brought to us by the president of the planning board? The chairman, I'm sorry. And they wanted to make changes. So, and that's what we went with. Okay, so we're just, listening to them, what is recommended, but I have 2 boats and I keep them nice, not here in Township, in another location. So I have no problem with people having a boat. I think you should have a recreational vehicle.
Perfect. Along those lines, how many of you own an RV or camper? Okay. I bought in this town, an area, because I'm not a fan of HOAs and all that garbage. I, like you, own accessories and keep my house very nice. This policy seems like it was painted with a pretty broad brush. Commercial vehicles, boats, trailers, campers, those might seem similar. Those are very different things. I looked around my neighborhood. Many of my neighbors have commercial vehicles, and they might seem unsightly to some people, but I see a hard worker that has earned that company vehicle or worked their way and built up that small business. So I just wanted to say that, but thank you for hearing.
Thank you.
May I just correct one thing? Words matter. The planning board does not want to make changes. The planning board, as part of the review of the master plan, suggests changes. That it's up to the council to decide if it takes an ordinance change, if they want to make the change.
Hi, my name is Ethel Pelletier. I live at 105 Woodfield Road.
Good evening.
So I guess to your point, Mayor, what's the genesis of this? Well, I don't know what they're trying to accomplish. Does anybody know what?
Either you or Mr. Alden, if you want, or you or Mr. Alden can answer. You sit on the planning board, so.
Yeah, so there was a reexamination of the master plan. Coming out of that reexamination, there were 4 areas of concern. This was one of them. The planner brought to our attention that or recommended that a ordinance be put forth with these controls over commercial vehicles, recreation vehicles, and boats. His job is to review our plan to make sure it is robust. We fall back on the master plan on any number of occasions. It's important that the plan is robust so we can defend when we need to the town. So I guess if we look at the vacant lots across from Seasons, I believe we prevailed, or we were told we prevailed, because we had a strong master plan when they proposed that commercial development. So our planner came and said, this is one area that the town does not have ordinance on, or a strong ordinance. We on the planning board reviewed it a number of times, a number of meetings, went back and forth. At that point, once we were satisfied it represented a valid proposal, it comes to the council for their review.
So you said it was derived from a concern, but you didn't address the concern. So I'm interested in what was the concern. You said there was a concern.
The planner,
and that the plan wasn't robust enough. So
our professional planner said that who develops our master plan in conjunction with the planning board and the council indicated it was deficient and suggested that we address it through what we have in front of us this evening.
So why was it insufficient? I'm just curious.
I think that there were complaints about RVs, there were complaints about commercial vehicles, and this is trying to codify what is allowed. I think, I don't think anyone is saying that people don't work hard. I don't think anyone is saying that they shouldn't have a commercial vehicle. This actually allows for a commercial vehicle. It does regulate how many, and it does regulate size. I mean, there are people who have responsibility for last mile delivery that may have may need a box van. Do we want box vans parked in our residential neighborhoods? I don't know. I don't want them. So that is the genesis of this, and that's why have it before the council this evening. I don't know.
Is there I don't know, but I just remembered something else. Is there an ordinance about how many cars you can park in your driveway? Because I'd rather see 8 cars not in a driveway and see 1 box vehicle, but that's just my opinion.
Sure.
Right? So I'm not sure, but that just stirred up a memory when I was looking for houses here. I was really concerned about one house I looked at. I wouldn't buy it because there were 8 cars in the driveway, grass across the street. So
I mean, I don't believe they're allowed on the grass, but if
I saw
there's
that.
on driveway.
Yeah. So anyway, so I was concerned about the genesis. So someone made an observation and they didn't like it, and then the planning committee was involved to build this robust ordinance.
Yes.
So
here is how I envision this. We have RVs that are how tall? I don't know how tall an RV is. Anyone wants to help me out? So you're going to have all these fences. You're going to be looking at people's homes, curbside view is all these solid fences that are going to be very high because.
Well, they can't be. We've been like there's some of these residents. I thank them for all their time because they've been here for multiple. I didn't mean to cut you off, but
well, I know
there's
a 6 foot. I know there's a 6 foot.
Yeah. So and we made it
ordinance.
clear that you can't have a 10-foot high fence to shield your entire RV,
But
which was brought up in many discussions with some of these residents that have been here since January that have come and voiced their concerns about all these issues we're talking about tonight. And the reason it's taken the council so long to make a decision on this ordinance is because we've gone back with a lot of questions. We've gone back for a lot of revisions. And ultimately, it's everybody on this dais' decision tonight to vote yes or no, whether we proceed with this. Because out of this master plan reexamination that Mr. Ullman talks about, some good things have come out because we did listen to residents going in for, these variances on their homes for height and size and the planner made some, he said, hey, in this area, you're allowed 30 feet, but 2 houses away, they're only allowed 25 foot in height. So why don't we fix that? And this area needs this size frontage, but a couple doors down doesn't need that. So we fixed all that, which was brought up in the master plan reexamination. This is one of the last things remaining on it.
Okay.
And it's been lingering for a long time. And I thank everybody for taking their time out tonight to come and express their concerns to the council, because it's good to hear everybody's voice on this. But one of the first things we asked for is, why do we need this? Because it's a very strict ordinance, the way it was written and the way it's been added to and revised. And we said, how many complaints? And there really wasn't any documented complaints. But again, because of our master plan reexamination, it was deemed that our adjoining towns have similar ordinances, and the recommendation was for us to review this ordinance for possible inclusion into our ordinances. I can't speak for anybody up on the dais other than myself, which I'll be voting no on this. I just don't like it, but it's something that they recommended. We are trying to see if it fits our town or not, and I think we need to make a decision today and get it off our laps.
Okay, because section 5 says all ordinances of the Township of Washington which are inconsistent with the provisions of this ordinance are hereby repealed. So that's why I was questioning, are we going to allow, because the fence originally said it has to be at least 6 feet tall.
And
so
that's
now
the
if I have to
maximum
cover an RV, right? So I just want to be clear. I just kind of envision driving around here, seeing nothing but fences and eliminating natural light, even though there might be a boat there or an RV there or a car, a commercial vehicle in the driveway. I would just hate to drive around here and just really get rid of this, very beautiful bucolic township.
To your concern, a bunch of the residents had asked already, saying, hey, my RV is 10 feet tall. One said it was 11. I can only put a 6-foot-high fence, so you're still going to see 5 feet of my RV. What do I do about that?
Okay.
So that was already discussed. It was,
Okay, I wasn't aware of that. So I appreciate your opinion on what you think of this. To the airline traffic, I thought it was already mandated that they were supposed to be following the parkway.
It's up to the pilots. They decide where they want to go.
Okay. And then the other thing about the traffic, I was wondering if we've ever talked to, and I believe it is that Montvale, the next exit where you can't make the right?
Correct.
Have we had discussions
So-
about amending that?
Oh, yeah.
So we've discussed that numerous times. That right-hand prohibition need a town-wide referendum has to occur in their town, which they have to approve to bring the right hand back. So I know the mayor and I for years have been, I know he still goes to his, he goes to his mayor meetings, but we had attended meetings together. Councilmen had gone to their council meetings and said, hey, we need you to do this. They will not even take the initiative to put it on a referendum.
I just want to make sure that we're talking the right town. It's Woodcliff Lake.
Woodcliff Lake,
Yeah.
Woodcliff Lake, yes. So Woodcliff Lake
I'll have
needs
to
to
hear
pass.
from the mayors.
Yeah, Woodcliff Lake needs to pass a town-wide referendum in order to put that, the way it was worded when that was removed, when the right-hand turn was removed, that was one of the stipulations put in there, that it has to be approved by the Township of Woodcliff Lake first, then the Turnpike Authority, and then the county, and then it would be put back. We've asked numerous times for a referendum to be put on so they could at least vote for it, and they will not even entertain that, so.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you listening to me, and
Thank you for your time.
I just don't want to see, the township is beautiful. Whenever I tell people I'm from Washington Township or that I live here, everyone says what a beautiful community is, and I just really wouldn't want it to turn into like an urban blight.
Thank you.
Honestly. Thank you.
And Mike, I'm just not sure if you mentioned also, we've also gotten a number of legal opinions to say, do you want to try and fight it through the courts? And that all the legal people seem to think that it was written so solidly in Woodcliff Lake's favor, we would just be wasting the town's money to try and fight it via legal avenue.
And Peter, you have to get the 3 entities
To say
to say yes.
Right.
And that's getting 2 people to say yes on one thing is almost impossible.
Right.
So.
Good evening.
Good
Okay.
evening. My name is Elena, 99 Sussex. I think it's very obvious that a lot of presence that we have in the room today was because of the ordinance that was discussed. I don't want to go over the reasons because I think they were very loud. My question to you would be how people here in the audience who tend to kind of side with the objection to that ordinance could be sure that the decision you would make is not a subjective one.
Can you clarify by subjective? When you say it's subjective
Driven by
opinion?
personal interests
Oh, a personal interest on
on the
our side?
Yeah.
I have no interest whatsoever. I can clarify that.
Mike, correct me if anyone had a personal interest, you'd have to recuse yourself.
Yeah,
recuse
yourself. If we had,
I mean-
I believe if we had a
Well,
boat or a trailer or an RV, right?
You know what I'll do?
No, well, you don't keep yours in town, Steve, so I don't know.
No, mine doesn't count
Right, yeah.
down the shore.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, because my boats are down there.
Right.
But I am a member of the Lake Association,
Oh.
so maybe I should recuse myself. But if I were to vote, and you know my feeling on this as it was before, when I asked if there was any complaints, and there was no complaints, I asked, why are we doing this? Because it's
That's
really
exactly
a
my
waste of
point,
time.
that I don't
Because-
seem to see anyone who would be genuinely interested in pursuing this. So I'm not even understanding why there is this argument where there is such a strong desire to suppress it. And
I don't think it's an argument. The master plan, when we received it, was 16 years old. The state requires us to do it every 10 years. So when we went out to the master plan, and the planning board put so much work into this, they're not the bad guys here. They're following what the master plan has directed for us to look at. So we have gotten these issues and they looked at it. We went back. Now, from the beginning, there was only one concern and none of these voices came out during the process, which is fine, okay? So the planning board sat down with the master planner, and the master planner looks at everything. And he says, okay, boxes 3, 4, and 5 need to be checked off. Now, it's not required for us to approve anything. All we have to do is look at it, maybe correct some of the issues about the height, maybe add a little length to the boat to be in place. But all this is a review right now. We can deny it and everything stops. But we have to be responsible to the state to answer the master plan. That's what's driving this thing. It's not the planning board, it's not the council, it's not one person complaining. We have to do the master plan every 10 years, like Council President said. We need a basis for construction, we need a basis for height. So we looked at this proposal and we can deny it and that's it. But we made our commitment to the state and the master plan. You know?
thank you.
Hope that answers your
I
question.
want to change gears. What?
Sure, go ahead.
So my other concern is that we've been part of the township for quite a few years now and seeing the change in the population. We do have an increased number of families, young adults.
Absolutely.
Correct. So I just wanted to kind of bring it up and see if there is anything that in works to address some of the issues. In particular, we live by the lake. The amount of people that are walking with strollers, running with strollers, walking with pads is increasing every day. People run, people play, people push their carts, whatever the case might be. And there seems to be no solution for having even though, maybe a designated lane or even having a different kind of speed limit to the cars because there are a lot of young drivers right now on the road. And they don't seem to really care for the speed limit as much. In addition to it, we have really zero lights on Sussex Road. So once the darkness hits, the visibility is minimal. Is there anything that's being discussed in that regard?
Not at this time, but I thank you for your comments. We'll address them. We'll put them on the agenda for future meetings and we'll take it up.
Okay.
I did notice there are a lot of streetlights. I know the one at Colonial and Ridgewood is out, and that's a major intersection. It's been out for several weeks, so I just, on my things to do to you, Mark, which I'll tell you tonight. So, but there's a bunch out when I walk. You are
Well, I
absolutely
don't-
correct. I
it's
walk
not
at night.
even in existence.
And I have a headlight and a backup light on now because I almost got hit by an e-bike coming down the path because he didn't see me and I didn't hear him because I had my
There are a lot
headphones
of
on.
bikers.
It is a very.
And then one last comment. I just wanted to address the green initiative because I believe a few years ago we started with putting a little bit more greenery by the little stream and the little bridge. Is there a plan to make that more kids friendly because we do have a lot of young kids who fish off that bridge, to make it more accessible for them and make it a little bit, let's say, safer, so they don't step into the water or they don't
The goal
leave
is
their.
that we have to support the bank first before we put a lot of kids along that bank area. If you notice, it's changed drastically what it used to be. You know, we have flower gardens, we have new beds there. Matter of fact, the last cleanup we did, we pulled 100 pounds of garbage out of the brook area. We found suitcases, leather jackets, boots, people that pick up their dog feces and they throw it in the water and it hangs on the bank. There's a barrel there. Put it in the barrel. You know, I just don't understand why you would throw it into the water. That's drinking water further down. So the Green Team has done a tremendous amount of work there. We do have some goals to clean it a little further back and add some more benches. But the poison ivy down there is horrible, you know what I'm telling you. So it does take a lot of work, and we do get a lot of volunteers that come out. We are doing a Green Team initiative right now. We're sharing with the Paramus group called Natural Flowers and Plants, that we're gonna peel back some of those invasive weeds and put flower plants along the bank. They will help to
Retain.
bring that bank a lot tighter than what it is, but it just takes a lot of work. You know.
I thank you for the consideration, but I also think with little kids, they don't really care for flowers as much. And my concern is that as much as an adult, I would appreciate seeing the flowers and admire them, the banks and the flowers may not necessarily be the best combination.
If you walk the bank, the left side is all wetlands. We can't do nothing in there.
I understand.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the one that where we used to have those beams and the beams were removed. So now the kids have nothing to even put their bikes against. You know, it very limited tools for them to use when they are doing some kind of activity on that little bridge.
Yeah, I've noticed my son goes fishing there all the time. So yeah, there's room for improvement there. You are absolutely correct.
All right. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes.
May I make a suggestion of the council, perhaps? I think a lot of you here probably share the same sentiment about the ordinance. Maybe perhaps based on if I'm reading some of the council members correctly, why don't you just take a straw vote now that you are going to vote down this first reading and put this to bed?
I'd like to hear everybody.
If they want to, I'm just saying, they may not want to be stuck here all night if the council
I don't
just
think we
wants
have
to do that.
By show of hands, how many others would like to come up regarding? We only have a few left.
Okay.
I'd like to hear them all out.
Of course.
May I
Thank you.
just speak
Go ahead.
for a second, just because everybody on the dais has already spoken, but I think the consensus is the same. You know, I brought this up, you know, one of the last meetings, a couple of meetings. If there's not an issue, why are we making an issue of this?
Correct.
Let's just move on. I understand that we're doing what we need to do. The planning board did their part, we're doing our part.
Yes.
But I think we're relatively on the same,
I think we're on the same wavelength.
page. So to the mayor's point, like somebody said, let's not waste our time, your time. It's just, let's focus on things that matter.
Yes, there's only 3 more left.
So I don't want to stop anybody from speaking,
Yeah, that was
We
not my
want to
intent
hear you.
either.
No, absolutely.
Go
But
ahead. You can pull it down.
I need to, thank you. Okay. Hi, Mary Ann Fahey, 29 Sussex.
Good evening, Ms. Fahey.
Good evening. I just want to talk about a few things. One thing is Teterboro. I used to work across the street from there, so I know the planes pretty well, okay, unfortunately. And my husband, a lot of times he calls, nothing really happens. And I get aggravated, and I called about a month ago. US Open, Fashion, and something else, September, you just get planes all the time. So I talked to a nice young lady who takes the phone calls, and she says, well, best suggestion is to keep calling and say, the runway 19, not 19, they call it 19, get the planes off there, try to get them on other runways, because that's the runway that comes over Washington Township, all right? So we have to make the calls. I don't know if it's going to help. There was a really good article in the Bergen Record on paper online. Everyone here should read it, about a week or two ago, about all the air traffic that comes in. And it's up since it's crazy. Okay, Port Authority's making money. We've got millionaires, billionaires coming in to this. The president comes in there sometimes. Everybody comes in there. We're not going to stop it. It's not going to stop, but maybe the runways we can get it going. So 19, remember that 19, get that off. I'm concerned I read in the Pascack Press this over the weekend about using Bethany as an overflow, I guess you want to call it, for DPW. Has anything else been looked at? That's all I want to know. Like, is that the only thing that we can do? We got to, pay Bethany for rental for that. So that, I don't know how that's going to be discussed. And I tried to look up, I gave up ordinances on our website. I just couldn't find the ordinance that they were talking about on it. I just about found, I didn't even find the agenda for today. I don't know if it's listed. I don't know if my internet wasn't working right last night, but I just hope that gets a little better. And what else? I have something else to say. Green Team. I like to be on it, and I mentioned it to you a few times.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how, I've helped out before, and I think we have a lot of good people in town who want to be on it. So I don't,
Do me a favor, send me an email, please, Kim.
I've had it, and I'll do it again.
Oh, are you?
Okay.
I went from an iPhone 10 to a 13, and the 16 is horrible. It just wiped out my email addresses. So.
Whatever, but
Okay.
I just got tired of, trying to help out, but there's so much that we can do for this town, so.
Just a quick note, Mary Ellen that does the program for the air flight, she said there's a meeting on October the 22nd. If you would like to join her to go down there at the TANNACC. That's the group that's fighting
Right,
the
that's right.
thing.
Yeah, I mean,
She would love to have you join,
I'll see.
Okay.
I don't know. 'Cause I've been to meetings and we had it, in Park Ridge one time, like all the towns. I don't know, but, I don't know. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Fahey. Anybody else at this time? Mr. Stickle? Good evening.
Good evening. Just a public service announcement. If anyone's light's out, you can go on pseg.com and you can report that light and they'll fix it. So I don't really think it's something the town administrator needs to be wasting his time with. Obviously, I'm here to speak about 2502 tonight. While the intent is to enhance neighborhood appearance, I believe the proposed 6-foot buffer and the fence requirements could have the opposite effect. I feel this buffer is simply an attempt to prevent residents from parking commercial vehicles, boats, RVs that are currently permitted under the existing ordinance. The buffer would block sight lines, making it difficult to see pedestrians, mothers with strollers, children on bicycles, and people walking dogs. And the reason I say that is my driveway is 26 feet long. Couldn't put my commercial truck there, that's 20 feet. So how I'm supposed to put a 6-foot fence on both sides of my driveway or 6 foot of bushes, I don't know who read this and even thinks that's possible. It makes it impossible to park a 24-foot boat in a 26-foot driveway since fences and bushes cannot be placed within 3 feet of the public right-of-way. which is Township Ordinance 217-4, state that bushes placed within 3 feet of the public right-of-way cannot be higher than 2.5 feet, making a 6-foot fence or a dense 6-foot bushes non-compliant. If you have a corner property, you can have nothing higher than 2.5 feet within 25 feet of the right-of-way. So basically, if you have a commercial vehicle and you live on a corner, you can no longer have a commercial vehicle. A 20-foot commercial truck and a 26-foot driveway will be overwhelmed by the proposed fence or bushes, making the driveway impractical and visually crowded. A 20-foot row of 6-foot bushes or 20-foot 6-foot fence on a 26-foot driveway would create a wall-like effect, closing off their neighborhood's open character. I'm sure my neighbors would be more pissed if I had 2 6-foot fences alongside my driveway than my commercial vehicle. Tradespeople who rely on work vehicles daily would be forced to find off-site storage, adding cost and delaying response time to jobs. Restrictions unfairly target responsible residents. Many of these residents also volunteer in our town as coaches, firefighters, EMTs, scout leaders, and serve on many of the community boards. Many residents own RVs as an affordable way for their families to vacation together. I personally remember camping with my family as a child because that's all we could afford. And I think if we want to start discussing storage of vehicles, then we need to look at the property at 668 Ridgewood Road, which is directly across from the high school. This property stores more than one commercial vehicle, despite the ordinance restrictions on Chapter 330-4. Vehicles appear to be a gross vehicle weight exceeding 11,000 pounds, which you're not allowed to have in town in a residential area, and height more than 8 feet. This property is not owned, yet seems exempt by the council, and recently in a closed session are also looking at 605 Pascack Road, which is another property in a residential zone. So I respectfully request clarification why these exceptions exist and whether enforcement will be consistent for all property owners. Okay, because that is not town property, so they're not exempt from it. So those properties are actually in violation. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Stick. Would anybody else like to come up at this time? Go ahead, sir. Oh.
Evening, Jake, 10 Speed 576 Jackson.
Good evening.
I'm not used to public speaking, so give me a second.
Take your time.
I have a problem. Not only do I agree with everything my fellow citizens said about 2502, the section in there also says that you are deputizing the volunteer firefighters or first aid, that they must report anything they see. And this will have a chilling effect on them calling for the needed emergency services. I've seen delays in such instances in my career, and I think this is something that should be looked at, should be removed, that could cause injury in the future. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good evening.
Hi, I'm Meg Stamatopoulos, 352 Hoover Avenue.
Good evening.
In relation to 25-02, I have a problem with how the ordinance was written. I know you guys have generally said that you will all be voting against it, but in the bottom section, it says 5 days. So our choices are fences, which have a 6-foot maximum according to township code, landscape buffers, which obviously would take time to grow, a lot more than 5 days, or you can remove the vehicle. I don't really see any of you guys giving people a choice. You want the vehicles out, you want the boats out, you want the RVs out. What option do they really have within 5 days? That's it.
Thank you. Anybody else at this time like to come up? Seeing no one, motion to close the open public session.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
May I just address the Bethany comment that was made? I just wanted to make sure.
I was going to do that.
Okay, either way.
This council, we've been looking at properties for the last 2 years I've been on council. And previously we had, when I was on council previously, we had entertained buying other properties for the DPW to move to, which fell through because of financial, quotes.
Many different reasons.
Many
different
financial
properties.
quotes, being in the wrong area of town that the property was available. So when a lot of us were not happy about where the equipment is now at the OLGC, but it is one of the only areas, once we were evicted from the pool property. I know a lot of people say, why don't you put it at the pool? Well, in closing on the pool property, there's a caveat in there that no vehicles are allowed to be stored there. And I know people have asked us, can we rent the pool property to park our vehicles there? No, we cannot. That's why we have to remove all the DPW trucks and equipment and move it temporarily to OLGC. In the interim, OLGC is, has a new tenant, and it's not big enough for what we need. And the only other avenue we had was the rear of Bethany, which the mayor is working on an agreement. We did look at a lot of other locations, but unfortunately they are not big enough or not in the right area. So we have spent countless hours on this. I thank Mr. DiCarlo. He's really done a wonderful job trying to identify properties. It's not rare. He's making faces. I don't usually give him a compliment, but he has spent, and I do give him compliments, so you should stop. He has spent countless hours looking at lots of places we can, we looked behind the high school. We've looked, we thought about, that's all wetlands back there. We thought of purchasing the homes next door to the Knights of Columbus. But it's all wetlands, so we couldn't use that property to move the DPW and store them permanently there. So we've looked at dozens of, I bet you it's a dozen areas. And right now, for the temporary 18 months while the building is being built, the Bethany lease agreement for 18 months is really the only avenue we have, because we have nowhere else to put our trucks at this point, because we have to vacate OLGC and we have nowhere else during construction to keep them up here until the construction is complete and we move them back here. So I hope that answers your question on what.
I didn't know about the vacating the church property.
Yes, we will not have both, so.
That's so that clarified it. And if it's only temporary.
It's 18-month lease. It does have a cap.
How's that not violation your own ordinance? How many people in Ruin have any place to put?
Council President, they can't speak.
Can you, Mr. Stickler, you can't, I'm sorry, you can't yell from the audience. Not yell, speak. Sorry.
We closed the public. I mean, that putting it to Bethany, it's a residential area. It doesn't meet the ordinances you have. I understand you have a problem, but it doesn't meet the ordinances. Nobody in this room has any other place to put their commercial truck either. So, if you're going to leave it at Bethany and you're going to pass this tonight, then maybe that's got to go to court and let a judge decide. It's a residential area.
I'd let our.
I'd love to have her speak about it.
Thank you, Mr. Stickler. Give us a second. She's better.
It's my understanding that's a business zone, that's in the B zone. I'd have to check it to be sure.
It's not zoned as a church in a residential area.
I'd have to check it. I don't recall.
Mike, correct me if I'm wrong.
So we were going to sign to lease and you're not really sure.
That property was zoned OR for office research, I believe. And it's a, what do they call it? A non-conforming use in that zone, but it is definitely not residential. And I'd just like to say, if it helps everyone in the audience, Mr. DiCarlo visited every property owner who would be affected and explained totally to them the situation, why we need it, what we were going to do to screen it off for them. And I think you almost got 100%, if not 100%, once people heard.
But in past meetings, we were told, even when this is finished over here, you don't have enough room for all the trucks.
Yes, we'll cross that bridge in 18 months, but right now we've got to get the DPW, the new facility. I think everyone can agree. They've been operating.
I agree with that fully. I agreed with that long ago. But we went from a 5-bay place down to a 3-bay place, so we even have less space. I stood here 2 years ago and was told we couldn't put up a metal building that would be larger because aluminum rusts. But I wasn't good in high school, but I always understood aluminum doesn't rust. But our architect thinks it does. But.
Correct. I tried to fight that battle too, Mr. Stickler. We lost.
Thank you.
Can we review Mr. Stickles and get back to Mr. Stickles' comment and get back to him? Maybe we'll get an answer for the next meeting. Or in fact, Paul. What? Yeah, I'll get back to you. Thank you. Ordinances, adoption, second reading. An ordinance amending Article 15 entitled Site Plan Review, Chapter 540-84 entitled Demolition of Residences, Tree Preservation, and Related Requirements of the Ordinances of the Township of Washington. Introduction, first reading. Oh, that's a continued public hearing.
Yeah.
So would anybody at this time like to?
No.
Oh, this is for 2520, right?
No,
You have to
they
close
were not
public.
ready. They don't,
did, we
they
closed
didn't
it.
make their, they didn't make the recommendation yet, so it's gotta be held off to the next meeting. That's why it's a continued public hearing. I did the introduction, then waiting for the comments.
So another ordinance, number 25-20, an ordinance amending Article 15 entitled Site Plan Review, Chapter 540-84 will be continued public hearing. And then ordinance number 25-02, introduction, first reading. An ordinance to regulate the parking and storage of boats, boat trailers, commercial vehicles, and recreational vehicles in residential districts. Do I have a motion to introduce and pass ordinance number 25-02 at first reading by title?
So moved.
Would anybody second it? Seeing nobody seconded, it dies, right?
Yes.
No one will second it? Motion does not pass. I thank everyone for their time tonight. If you want to stay and listen to the rest of the meeting, you may well, but you can leave at this time. Thank you so much. Take a 2-minute break.
Yeah, I was just gonna-
Yeah. providing for the improvement of Memorial Field in and by the Township of Washington in the County of Bergen, New Jersey, an appropriation of $68,601.38.
God bless you.
Excuse me. Thank you. Therefore, from proceeds of obligations of the township heretofore issued and from capital fund balance of the township. Motion to introduce and pass ordinance number 25-21 at first reading by title.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Councilman Casio.
Yes.
Councilman Sears.
Councilor Sears.
Hello.
What are you thinking?
Yes.
Councilman Ullman.
You know what I'm thinking.
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez.
Yes.
Council President DeSena.
Do I have to recuse myself since we used the lights?
No.
No? Okay, yes. Resolution number 25-321, authorized publication of ordinance number 25-21 and schedule a public hearing. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I'll second it. Roll call?
Wait, can we have discussion?
Oh, sure. Sorry, Mr. Ron.
So this is the one where we had a discussion a few weeks ago to use this money. And then at the last meeting, Tom raised an issue for about the 53, carving out some of that for the
Yes,
light.
for the lights.
So I guess my question is, and I received your
Compelling argument.
your email, Mr. DiCarlo, but what is the plan? Because, well, first, I guess, Tom raised it as a member of council, but also as a member of the fire department. So I think one of the questions was, is that light really necessary? And have you had the opportunity to speak with the director?
Director of the fire department?
Yes.
No, I have not.
So we don't even know if that light is necessary.
Do you want to?
Yeah. I spoke to the director afterwards. He said it has been a concern, since the intersection got redone, that it's a worse problem. So he would like to see something done on it. I didn't get into the particulars with him about where the money should come from, but he definitely agrees it's an issue that they would appreciate if we look into.
So I remember during this discussion, I'm all for I thought it should have been there since day one, but we needed county approval to do this. So I figured in my vote, Mr. Sears, I want the blinking lights put up. I agree with them. It's not going to happen between now and our 2026 budget cycle. So we could put it into capital in 2026, because by the time we have discussions with the county, I'm sure it's not going to happen overnight. So unfortunately, it's not. But
they're better than the DEP, but
hopefully better than the DEP. I don't think they're going to fight us on this.
No.
So I would like to see it put into the 2026 capital request.
Thank you.
that gives us plenty of time to research it and do it right.
Yes. I drove past the ones I put up Saturday when I said, this is what we need. And so I still have the specs for it, so I can get it.
I got new specs that were sent to me also.
I mean, we have the money in the account for the emergency service building that was earmarked for
The emergency
the
service
building.
yeah.
So now we're pulling money out of the ESB to pay for, this is for the DPW?
Yes, sir.
And,
Okay, I understand. Yeah.
so there's that issue. The second question I have is, Mr. DiCarlo, or the second question I have is, Mr. DiCarlo mentioned that when this discussion was occurring last week, that there were certain items that were not included in the plan. I think you specifically mentioned the access control and internal furnishings. So I guess my question is, we need this money, how much more do we need? Because the access control for the ESB was originally 20,000.
It was 60.
And it came in at 80. So, it's not insignificant funds. And so, do we know what else is not accounted for?
So respectfully, I put in my email that although the council has a desire for me to account for every exact last expense there may be, it's still hard to do. However, with JCT for the cameras and the access control, it was purposely not put into the bid because the company we use is state contract. So if I put it into the bid, we'd be paying significantly higher than we're going to be paying JCT. So when I had this discussion with council on September 8th, council, after I requested the resolution and vote be held until I properly informed the council, giving you documentation indicating that I had an agreement upon the council to dedicate that $53,000 from the firehouse in order for me to certify funds to award the bid. I understand that the council can change their mind, but in doing so, you did that against a resolution you had already voted for and had already promised to commit that money to me, but I mean the DPW. So I also notified the council that it didn't include engineering, right? It didn't include the LISCO, and council approved me utilizing the general ledger for the sale of municipal assets from the school, right? And then another discussion, we had suggested an estimate or provide an estimate of almost $50,000 to do the rear driveway, right? And then the $18,000 for the fencing. So when council reverted, again, changed their mind, whether we did or not on the 22nd, that significantly put a damper into the commitment that was made to me on the 8th and made to the township to dedicate those funds. So I did meet with Mr. Sears along with the mayor. The project is totally understood to be a necessity and a priority. But again, we would like to take the time and do it right. I hate to say that the more pressing issue over the potential safety of firemen and motorists, I don't have a lack of a better term, but the pressing issue is to get this project started. And if I don't have money to do the fencing, the gates, and the driveway, I can't clear this property for site construction. So that's why I'm asking the council to reconsider their commitment made to us on the 8th, dedicate that $53,000. That way it's dedicating a total of $150,000 and some change. 40 plus, and we've gotten a better estimate. Remember I told you we got 50, we actually got a better estimate of 40 for the driveway. You add 18, that's up to 58. I don't know what else is going to come up to. We fine-tuned the proposal that was given to me in May by JCT. Originally, we had accounted for 4 doors to have access control. We limited that down to 1, so that will save money for us. However, the proposal includes wiring, it includes the cameras to secure the building, and it includes 1 door access key fob. So I have not gotten that revised proposal. I think I put that in the email as well. So, again, that could be anywhere between $30,000 and $40,000. So now we're up to 80 and 90. I'm hoping for that additional 60 will account for everything, but I had nothing else. That's, all that money had to be accounted for when certifying that we had money. So the other thing I put in the emails, in New Jersey, we use an encumbrance system, right? So I have to encumber a purchase order for the total $4,933,000, which was the bid award. I wish I could do it in segments, right, and use some of the money for something else, but I can't. I even double checked with that. So that's why it took a couple days. I wanted to, get my facts straight, and that's when I sent the email to council explaining why I needed this dedication to funds.
Anything else from anybody else? Mr. Tallman, anything else there?
No.
Yes.
Yeah, a roll call.
Councilman Casio,
Yes.
Councilman Sears,
Yes.
Councilman Ullman,
No.
Councilwoman Velez,
Yes.
Council President DeSena.
Yes. Ordinance number 25-22, an ordinance providing for the construction of a new Department of Public Works facility in and by the Township of Washington in the County of Bergen, New Jersey, and appropriating $150,349.85, therefore, from proceeds of obligations of the township heretofore issued and from capital fund balance of the township. Motion to introduce and pass ordinance number 25-22 at first reading by title.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Casio,
Yes.
Councilman Sears,
Yes.
Councilman Ullman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez,
Yes.
Council President DeSena.
Yes.
Thank you.
Resolution number 25-322, authorizing publication of ordinance number 2522 and schedule a public hearing. Do I have a motion?
So move.
I'll second it. Roll call.
Councilman Casio,
Yes.
Councilman Sears,
Yes.
Councilman Ullman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez,
Yes.
Council President DeSena.
Yes. Resolutions consent agenda. The following items have been determined to have the unanimous consent of council and will be enacted in one motion. Should any item require independent consideration, any council member may have such item removed from the consent agenda. Would anybody like any item at this time removed from the consent agenda?
No.
Okay, we'll move on. Resolution number 25-323, authorize refund of engineering escrow and cash performance guarantees for various blocks and lots in the amount not to exceed $21,836.75. Resolution number 25-324, authorize reduction of the performance guarantee block 1101.01, lot 5.03 in the amount not to exceed $66,720. Resolution number 25-325, authorize, endorse, and support for the filing of the NJDCA 2026 ROID grant application. Motion to approve consent agenda resolutions as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Casio,
Yes.
Councilman Sears,
Yes.
Councilman Ullman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez,
Yes.
Council President DeSena.
Yes. Motion to adjourn to the conference agenda.
Mike, can I just make one comment? If
Sure.
you don't mind.
Okay.
I just want to clarify that the mayor was right, and I'm going to read this from the 1970 revised master plan.
Wow.
Okay? I hold on to stuff, Pete. You know, it's a little younger than me, 10 years younger, but I have it. So the area of approximately 40 acres on the east side of Pascack Road, south of Washington, presently zoned as OR, mostly the site is shown on the land map to be a limited commercial capacity. Okay? And this is how we get caught up in these stupid things from the state. You'll love this one. Here we go. So they estimate the population in 1985 is going to be 10,577 people. Our current population is only 9,200.
Right.
So anything that the state puts out about using land and doing this, it's all a guess. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. And that's all I want to know. If you want this, to put this in the museum, I will definitely put it somewhere if you want to look at it. But, you know, these are things that.
Hold on to it.
Hold on to it.
Hold on to it.
I'm not going to be around that long, so let someone else hold on.
Well, we may want to put it in one of those time capsules.
Yeah, time capsule. This is the futility of doing these ordinances, you know, doing things that you listen to the state to do stuff for our town. They don't know who we are.
Right.
What we look like. We're just a zip code to them and land. So that's why it's important that we know our people and our constituents, what works in our town, as opposed to going off some guy down in Trenton. So that's my comment.
Happy to stay off their radar, except when needed.
Exactly.
Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next meeting of the Township Council will be on October 20th, 2025, beginning at 7 p.m. Sign up for Nixle. Text 07676 to 888-777. Key code TWP of Bergen. Conference agenda for October 6, 2025. We have one thing under ordinances and legislations, block parties for Mrs. Witkowski. What do we have?
Basically, it was just a matter of the chief of police and myself having a conversation going back a couple months ago about block parties when they started coming in, and him saying, we have nothing to regulate block parties. So he asked me if I could kind of check around with the rest of the neighboring communities, so I did it through general code, do our search, And what's in your packet are the ones that basically came back with some sort of regulation on a block party. The chief had suggested, I believe, with East Rutherford.
Yes.
I got confused between Rutherford, East Rutherford.
Yep.
He cited why he liked them, but it was just something I thought we put out there. Within the last week, we've gotten requests for 2 more block parties. They're not a real big thing, a big item, but when people want to do it, a lot of people are involved between the DPW, the fire, the ambulance, the police department. It'd be nice if they had something to kind of go by.
Okay.
So,
So could I, if the rest of the council is okay, and could we ask Mrs. Bailey to look at the East Rutherford ordinance and see how it can comply for the residents of the Township of Washington and get back to us in the near future?
I just want to understand what you're asking me to do.
Can you prepare
Prepare one based on
an
East
ordinance that would,
Sure.
the chief asked for the East Rutherford to be used as a sample, correct?
And you're saying we don't have anything right now?
No.
So we
there's
would
no-
call it street closings, or we'd call it block party, because all the ordinances they have is street closings.
Whatever Ms. Bailey would like to call it.
Whatever the council would like to call it.
I think we keep it as street closing. I think we keep it as street closings, because that's technically what it is. It's a street closing.
Yeah.
Temporary street.
Temporary street closing. Well, they don't call it temporary, they just call it
We
street
have
closing.
one called it temporary.
So,
You know.
Sue, I'm sorry, if you could educate me, maybe us. What is the procedure right now? So when they come to you, what are they
There's a form
seeking?
online. They
Okay,
fill out the form, they submit it to my office. It then goes down to the police department, the chief reviews it, he approves it, goes to DPW, DPW approves it, comes back to me, I sign off on it, then everybody gets a copy of it saying, this road needs to be blocked off on
So what's
such
wrong
and
with
such a
that?
date.
What's wrong with that process?
yeah.
Because there's no enforcement or anything else of that nature.
But there's
because
a
when-
permit that they're pulling for,
It's not even a permit, it's just they get their
Just
copy back. saying
informing-
it's- Right.
informing the
approved.
town.
Because they need to
Um,
get the cones. and
Yeah, no, I
the
understand
chain.
There's
that.
been in the
But I'm
past
just
where
like, what's wrong with our
people have been
process?
have tried to do block parties, like I said, no, but a couple have tried. One in particular that wanted to block off the entire block, but it wasn't a block party, it was a graduation party. So
Well,
therefore,
that's
the
why
police
maybe
denied that one.
street closures might not work, because then
Well,
you
but a
can
block party
close
is
it for
usually a
everything.
block party where you invite.
Yeah, but
all your
people have closed streets for birthday parties, so.
But
I
not
know-
through me.
Well, absolutely, they
I'm not
closed.
through me, I'm telling you. So
I had a
there is
birthday
no
party
regulation.
around the block from me, and they closed the whole street, the whole street
Well,
down.
maybe they're presenting it as
Did they
X, but
invite you?
doing Y?
No.
Well, there you go, maybe you didn't mind.
Are you just mad that you
We're
didn't
making
invite?
it way too confusing.
No, I'm not.
Let me tell you something,
I didn't-
way too confusing.
And if I may wait one more, Joe, Siobhan, please word it so we don't get a room full of people.
There you go.
Just a little guidance,
Yeah.
that's all that,
All right.
we talked about, a little guidance.
All right, closed session, resolution number 25-326, cell tower negotiations, contract negotiations, and a lease agreement for Bethany. The Township Council anticipates that an open session will be necessary following the closed session. Motion to enter into closed session.
Well,
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone. We go into closed session. We'll wait for Ricky to come down and shut the cameras off.
Don't speak, you're still.
7, a resolution authorizing entry into a lease agreement with the Bethany Church for a temporary DPW yard for 18 months. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Casio.
Yes.
Councilman Sears.
Yes.
Councilman Omen.
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez.
Yes.
Council President DeSena.
Yes. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you.
All right, let's
Good night, everyone.
There we go.